defense, poor shooting. Combination?
Well, just two good teams.
Yep. Pretty evenly matched, and the Suns again without Amari Stoudemire, so the future looks very good. Amari saying this past week when he returns, he feels the Suns will be unstoppable.
Well, you can't argue. You can't argue with that one.
They had the kiss cam moments ago, and Ava wanted no part of the hairy beast.
Tony Park.
And he didn't care.
They didn't show Tony Park. He got up and ran over.
They did. We may not see the grill the rest of the night. Suns have 7 turnovers so far here in the first half as Boris Diaw calmly stepping to the line. There's his French national teammate, Tony Parker. Their French national team winning the bronze medal over the summer in the European Championships. It was the first medal in 50 years for France. And Boris, Tony very tight. Interesting story. Apparently, over the Christmas holidays, Boris Diaw received a Christmas gift from Tony Parker. Well, Boris didn't return the favor, I guess, right away. He said, Tony, I'm going to wait until you come here to Phoenix. And he was scrambling for that gift yesterday. Tell him he had it all along.
I'm sure they both need it.
Yeah. It's got like a $25 gift certificate at Target. Diaw feeds Marion. Goes for the reversal and the offensive rebound for Boris Diaw. Eddie House in the corner now. Flip it out to Diaw. Suns with the ball movement. Shot clock inside of 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Diaw really got it. There's Marion to clean up.
You know what? The Spurs basically froze on the play. But the key was Boris Diaw putting it on the rim. That's all he had to do. And Shawn Marion, the ever-present Shawn Marion, on the rim.
And the play by Diaw to turn and shoot in one motion. Again, just a throw-in in that Atlanta deal with Joe Johnson going to the Hawks. Suns picking up a couple of first-round picks as well. And a 3-second defensive lane violation on Shawn Marion of Phoenix.
Yeah, and that disrupts the good defense that Eddie House was playing on Ginobili. I mean, he was trying to back him down, and the quickness of Eddie House bothered him. You know, the scouting report obviously says the guy can go either way, but I think with Ginobili, you have to force him to the defense, and if anything, make him use that right hand.
Ginobili knocks it down. Go back to Eddie House. When he was at ASU, that was the head coach at one point. Actually played for 3 different head coaches, Bill Frieder, Don Newman, and then Rob Evans. And Eddie House said the turning point in his career was when Don Newman was not given the job full time. They actually gave it to Rob Evans, and Eddie House was not happy about it. He was very tight with Don Newman, but he said the turning point was when he developed that relationship with Rob Evans. And Rob Evans was in his corner and said, gave him a clean slate, but a very tight relationship still for Eddie House and Don Newman, the former Sun Devil head coach.
Well, you know, he's a loyal guy, and he wanted to stick with the guy that was there for him.
Turning it over, Tony Parker, nowhere to go, and now a foul in transition. And it's on Robert Horry of the Spurs.
He reached out and tried to grab the blur that went by him and Shawn Marion. I said it earlier. I think, you know, with Robert Horry guarding you, you got to run him. I mean, you have to run them. They don't want to play this pace. I talked to Bruce Bourne before the game. I mean, you know, they don't want to run like that. They were amazed that Miami even tried to run with the Suns last night.
Well, San Antonio is pretty successful, though, turning up their own running game in the playoffs. They are a very flexible team that can go slow. They can run. The Suns, I think, were caught really off guard in the playoffs by the points that San Antonio put up.
But, Tom, I tell you, this is a different Suns team. You know, when the Suns went to their bench last year, their speed factor wasn't as good as it is now. And I think the Spurs would have a problem if they had to play the Suns in the playoffs and deal with the speed over 7 games.
Head-on collision there between Tim Duncan and Boris Diaw. The San Antonio in those 5 games averaged 108 points per game in the Western Conference Finals against the Suns. They scored 100 or more points in all 5 of the games. And here is Duncan defended by Diaw.
Looked like good defense to me.
Maybe some of the chirping paid off for Tim Duncan here.
Well, of course. I mean, he understands. I mean, he knows when to ride the official and when not. It's just last few years, I mean, he was a quiet player early on. And, I mean, it seems like every call he has a comment.
Tonight's game brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Eddie, the Suns come in averaging just 17 free throw attempts per game. If that continues, that will be a new record low for an NBA team. But here, so far in the first half, they put up 13 free throws to now 10 for San Antonio.
Yeah,
actually outshooting a team from the line in the first half.
Well, two things are different. The Suns have 13 attempts, and the Spurs are making their free throws.
8 of 10 for San Antonio. Suns 12 of 13. Offensive foul prior to the lob feed to Sean Marion. So take away the 2 points and give it back to San Antonio with the Suns leading by 4. Phoenix Suns come in first place in the Pacific Division, 3 games up on the LA Clippers to start the night. The Phoenix Suns under head coach Mike D'Antoni, 5th best record right now in the NBA. 4th best record moving into that spot, the Memphis Grizzlies and Mike Fratello. He is working wonders there with the Grizzlies. Go back to that offensive foul call on Eddie House.
Well, they're talking about the back screen here, and I don't know, we didn't get a great look at it, but again, when you're screening Robert Horry and you're screening Ginobili and Bourne, they're going to try to draw the official into the play and really have to get them head on.
Michael Finley rising up before Raja Bell could get there defensively. You make a great point, too, talking about this being a totally different Suns team. There's only 3 active players right now on this Suns team that was in the Western Conference Finals. Steve Nash, along with Sean Marion, and Jim Jackson. Jim Jackson has not seen the light of day over the last few games for D'Antoni and the Suns. So really 2 active players that were involved in the Western Conference Finals. And we have a timeout here with 2:41 to go until halftime. 38-36, home team.